Hello, dear friends. In the fifth lecture of the Erasmus Ecclesiastical Law of the spring semester, I continue explaining the Article 3, Paragraph 1 of the Greek Constitution on prevailing religion. Now I proceed to the explication of the third verset of the same paragraph. We read in it, it is autocephalous, and that is the Orthodox Church of Greece, is autocephalous, and is administered by the Holy Synod of serving bishops and the permanent Holy Synod, originating thereof, and assemblies specified by the statutory charter of the Church in compliance with the provisions of the Patriarchal Tome of June 29, 1850 and the Synodal Act of September 4th, 1928. In the third verset of the first paragraph, it is incorrect to be written in this constitutional disposition that the Orthodox Church of Greece is an autocephalous one, because only one of its constituent parts, that is the autocephal Church of Greece, is an autocephal one. Its other constituent part, that is the metropolises of the northern Greece, or the metropolises of the so-called New Lands, do not constitute an autocephal church because they belong to the ecclesiastical sovereignty of the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople. The Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, as I have said in my fourth lecture, has agreed with the Greek government to establish a new organization, the Orthodox Church of Greece, which is composed of the autocephal Church of Greece, that is the group of metropolises of the autocephal Church of Greece, and the other constituent part is the group of the metropolises of northern Greece, or metropolises of so-called New Lands. The Church of Greece has not sovereignty, ecclesiastical sovereignty, over the metropolises of northern Greece, patriarchal metropolises of northern Greece, which belong to the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, and which are united with the autocephal Church of Greece in another organization which is called Orthodox Church of Greece, And in which Orthodox Church of Greece? Either the bishops of the Autocephal Church of Greece, or the bishops of the northern Greece, or bishops of so-called new lands, cooperate in an equal manner in the administration of this organization, which is called Orthodox Church of Greece. For that reason, explained already, the Orthodox Church of Greece is not autocephalous, as the Constitution disposes. The Orthodox Church of Greece is administered by the Holy Synod of serving bishops and the permanent Holy Synod. The Orthodox Church of Greece is a local Orthodox Church which partially is autocephalous, as it concerns the Autocephal Orthodox Church, and partially is not autocephalous, which concerns the metropolises of the northern Greece, that is, the metropolises of the so-called New Lands. This Orthodox Church of Greece has its supreme administrative authority, the Synod of Hierarchy, which is called in the third verse of the first paragraph of Article 3 of the Greek Constitution as Holy Synod of Serving Bishops, that is, the Synod of Hierarchy. But because the Holy Synod of Serving Bishops, or Synod of Hierarchy, which is presided by the Archbishop of Athens, is convened in an ordinary session according its statutory charter, which is a parliamentary law number 590 of 1977, only one time each October, and in extraordinary sessions through initiative undertaken by the Archbishop of Athens or by the Permanent Synod or by a group of bishops according to the relative dispositions of its constitutional charter. For that reason, in the meantime, that is, for the period in which the supreme ecclesiastical authority of the Orthodox Church of Greece is not in function, the permanent Holy Synod is in function, which generally has the competencies of the Synod of Hierarchy, except some competencies provided in the concrete provisions of the Constitutional Charter of the Orthodox Church of Greece. So the Permanent Synod, which is a small synod of 12 bishops presided by the Archbishop of Athens, is functioning all the year, except in the periods in which the Synod of Hierarchy, that is, the Synod of all the bishops which govern metropolises, is convened. And as I have explained already in my prior lecture, the Permanent Holy Synod is composed of two groups of bishops. 6 bishops are taken from the list of the bishops of the Autocephalous Church of Greece, and 6 bishops are taken from the list of bishops of the metropolises of northern Greece, or the metropolises of the so-called New Lands. For only one synodal period, that is for only an annual term. Then the successive in the list are called, the successive in the list of the two groups of bishops are called to become synodal members of the Permanent Holy Synod, also for one synodical year. And the president of the Permanent Synod is also the Archbishop of Athens. This structure of the Permanent Synod, the Article 3, paragraph 1, verse 3, says that is specified by the statutory charter of the Church. This means that the statutory charter of the Church, which is voted by the Parliament according to the Article 70 through, in the context of the existing legislative practice, this statutory charter of church, which is state law, can be called as an executive law. It is provided in the Constitution. The structure of the Holy Synod is specified by the statutory charter of the Church. It is disposed in the third verse of the first paragraph of the Article 3 of the Greek Constitution. And this structure says the same constitutional disposition. The same structure is in compliance with the provisions of the Patriarchal Tome of June 29th, 1850, and the Synodal Act of September the 4th, 1928. As it is known from my former lectures, the Patriarchal Tome of June 29th, 1850 is the canonical act through which the status of an autocephalous church has been conferred by the Ecumenical Patriarchate, that is the Ecumenical Patriarch and the Patriarchal Synod, to the Autocephalous Church of Greece, in a canonical manner, because the status of an autocephalous church has been proclaimed arbitrarily by the so-called Autocephalous Church of Greece in 1833 under the pressure of the then existing political authority, because that political authority wanted to control the organization and administration of the so-called Autocephalous Church of Greece. And for 17 years, the Autocephalous Church of Greece had not any communion with its mother church, that is the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, because it proclaimed arbitrarily, under political pressure, of course, its status as an autocephalous church, and for that reason, the government, Greek government in 1850 and the Holy Synod of the so-called Autocephalous Church of Greece submitted an application in 1850 to the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople to acquire canonically, that is, from the competent ecclesiastical authority, that status of an autocephalous church. And as also I have explained in my prior lectures, the Synodal Act of September the 4th, 1928, concerns the establishment of the organization of a new organization of Church, Orthodox Church of Greece, which is composed of two parts. First part, Autocephalous Church of Greece. Second part, Metropolises of Northern Greece, or Metropolises of so-called New Lands. The relative provisions of the Synodal Act of September the 4th, 1928, give the structure of the permanent Holy Synod of the organization of Orthodox Church of Greece. While the provisions of the Patriarchal Tome of June 29, 1850 recognize the Holy Synod as the supreme administrative authority of the Autocephalous Church of Greece, presided by the then Metropolitan of Athens. Now we proceed to the second paragraph of the third article of the Greek Constitution. We read in it, the ecclesiastical regime existing in certain districts of the state shall not be deemed contrary to the provisions of the preceding paragraph. As I have said already in my prior lectures, there is not in the territory of the Greek state one ecclesiastical jurisdiction of one Autocephalous Orthodox Church. There are two ecclesiastical jurisdictions of two Autocephalous Orthodox churches in Greek territory. I have explained already, as it concerns the first paragraph of the third article of the Greek Constitution, the ecclesiastical regime recognized by the Constitution of the organization of the Orthodox Church of Greece, which is composed of the Autocephalous Church of Greece and of the metropolises of northern Greece, or the metropolises of the so-called New Lands. But there are also other ecclesiastical regimes in Greek territory. Belonging to the other Autocephalous Orthodox Church, which has jurisdiction in Greek territory. The Orthodox Church of Crete, from the canonical point of view, that is, from the point of view of the internal law of the Orthodox Church, is a semi-autonomous church, supervised by the Autocephalous Church of Ecumenical Patriarchate. The Orthodox Church of Crete is a state church also, because its constitutional charter is voted by the Greek Parliament, and until recently it had not the competence to promulgate regulations, because in the existing text, juridical text of its statutes contained in the respective parliamentary law, there were not powers of attorney for the eparchial synod of bishops, which is presided by the Archbishop of Crete, with seat in Heraklion, of the Orthodox Church of Crete. But recently, after relative modifications of the constitutional charter of the Orthodox Church of Crete by the Greek Parliament, a partial synod of the Orthodox Church of Crete, which is the superior ecclesiastical authority under the supervision of the Patriarchal Synod of Constantinople in the Orthodox Church of Crete, and other organs of the Orthodox Church of Crete have acquired the competence to promulgate regulations on the specific matters for which these powers of attorney have been accorded by the law. The paragraph 2nd of the Article 3rd concerns, as an ecclesiastical regime, the Orthodox Church of Crete. But there are also other ecclesiastical regimes in Greek territory. The metropolises of Dodecanese, 5 metropolises, and the Patriarchal Exarchy of Patmos belong immediately to the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople. The system of church and state relations in that group of metropolises, the metropolises of Dodecanese, with which the Patriarchal Exarchy is assimilated, despite the fact that Patmos has not a bishop, but a Patriarchal Exarch, who is the superior or the igumen of the patriarchal monastery of the St. John the Theologian. All these dioceses, all these eparchies of Dodecanese, 5 metropolises and Patriarchal Exarchy of Patmos, constitute a group of metropolises which have the system of separation between church and state, because the state, the parliament, does not vote its constitutional charter, because the constitutional charter of that group of metropolises is the canon law of the ecumenical patriarchate. And there is also another ecclesiastical regime, that of Mount Athos, for which I will speak in my next 6th lecture. Thank you for your attention.